do? What do they do? Well, number one, it helps with the pass protection. Number two, it slows down the rush. Plus the fact that it provides you with the opportunity to make big plays.
Well, they got Emmitt Smith in the first round. The Cardinals got the leading rusher in the NFC in the moment in the 7th round.
Well, they did, and they should have worn a face mask, you know, to acquire that draft choice, because he's a very outstanding back. He's a number one pick, a number one player, and he has the same kind of dimension that Emmitt Smith does to the Dallas Cowboy attack.
We've got a beautiful day here in the Valley of the Sun. James Dixon and Alexander Wright back to return the kickoff to our left for the Dallas Cowboys, and Al Del Greco, who has a hard time reaching the end zone with his kickoffs, to kick it off from the 35 down to our right. There's a look at Al Del Greco, been around for a while. In fact, left unprotected in Plan B last year by the Cardinals. You can see 12 kickoffs and just 1 touchback. So the Cowboys have a dangerous return game, and they may have a chance to employ it right here.
Del Greco has only had 1 touchback in his last 24 games, which is really incredible.
Well, a crowd of about 48,000 anticipated here today. It seats 72, and we are underway. It is a very short kickoff. Taken in at the 8-yard line by Dixon. He's got a lot of speed, and he's upended as he crosses the 30-yard line. James Dixon, who has played both wide receiver and running back for the Cowboys, bringing it back. Tracy Eaton on the tackle after a 23-yard return. And there you get a look at Troy Aikman, the former number 1 pick in the entire draft. The Cowboys have altered their offense to throw more short passes and take the pressure off him. Tuane, Kerr, Stepnoski, Giesick, and Newton. The huge Nate Newton at right tackle, along with the tight end. The running back, Emmitt Smith, who went over 100 yards last week. Alonzo Highsmith, the fine blocker in front of him in the eye. And the wide receivers. Now the backs split behind Aikman on 1st and 10. Short pass here near sideline to Novacek, who usually is a tight end, but they plan to split him out some today, and they did right there for a pickup of about 6 yards. Freddie Joe Nunn, Jim Waller, and Rod Sadler open up front. Now the Cardinals have switched from a 4-3 in the past to a 3-4 here today. The linebackers are Jacks, Bell, Hill, and Harvey. It'll be a pickup of 5 and 2nd and 5 upcoming. Mack and Taylor on the corners. Tim McDonald, a fine, strong safety, and Lonnie Young, a former 12th round draft choice, at free. 2nd and 5 for the Cowboys and Troy Aikman. What a hole up the middle for Emmitt Smith, and Emmitt Smith is up close to the 44-yard line, and the first down of this game picked up by the Cowboys. Tim McDonald, a great run supporter at strong safety and a former Pro Bowler, brings him down.
And the great running backs, you know, Jim, have the great capacity to see things very quickly and react to what the defense does. That time he went right up the middle, but saw a seam on the left side and took advantage of it and popped right there through there for a first down.
23 carries for 121 yards last week for Emmitt Smith out of Florida. On 1st and 10, Smith once more. The ball comes free at the 46-yard line of Phoenix. The Cardinals have it. Picked up by Lonnie Young, the free safety.
Here it is from the end zone as we see it. He's reading the block, cuts inside, gets hit from the backside. It looked like Rod Sadler that made the tackle. The ball pops loose, and it's Lonnie Young who makes the recovery. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals.
Alonzo Highsmith on the carry and the fumble. Tim Rosenbaugh has the worst rating of any quarterback in the NFL. He's going to throw on 1st down. Floating it out underneath, and tackled quickly at the 44-yard line is Johnny Johnson. Flag is down at the 42-yard line. Here's the Phoenix offense. Fine offensive line that should give an undersized Dallas defensive front some problems. The tight end is Walter Reeves, primarily a blocker. Johnny Johnson, that find in the 7th round at running back. The H-back is Tim Jordan. The wide receivers are the veterans Smith and Green. A flag was dropped at the 42-yard line. Our referee today is Red Cashin, explaining the options to Eugene Lockhart, a fine middle linebacker of the Cowboys. The Cowboys trying to win consecutive games for the first time since 1987. A win would put them at 500. First time they'd been at that level since September 25th, 1988.
And Jim, they start right off with a screen pass.
Holding during the run, number 61. That penalty is declined. It'll be second down.
They start right off with a screen pass, and why a screen? Because the Cardinals use a lot of soft zone defenses, and anytime a team plays zone, screen passes are very effective.
Penalty was on Lance Smith, declined as Joe Bugel, the first-year head coach, looks on. 2nd and 12 after the loss of 2. Rosenbaum looking, throwing, caught by the veteran Smith at the 41-yard line. J.T. Smith, who only had 6 receptions coming into this game, brings one in for 14 yards. Here's the defense that Tim Rosenbaum will be looking at here this afternoon. Daniel Stubbs gets the start up front along with Jimmy Jones, his first start in the NFL, replacing the injured Hamill. Danny Noonan and the veteran Jim Jeffcoat, who played here at ASU. Jack Del Rio, Eugene Lockhart, and Ken Norton are the linebackers. Bolton Williams on the corners. Horton and Al Britton the safeties. 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 40. Sweeping is Johnson, trying to turn the corner. Hits it up inside the 40, close to the 38-yard line, where the middle linebacker, Eugene Lockhart, the 7-year man out of Houston, makes the tackle, along with the 7-year man at strong safety, Vince Al Britton.
They got a good push from their offensive line on the right side, especially Tootie Robbins, number 63, who is about 322 pounds. They got a good push, but Johnson jumped to the outside and got as much out of the play as he possibly could.
So we'll bring up 2nd and 8 with the ball at the 38-yard line of Dallas. Some movement along the line. Cowboys may be penalized here as Johnson runs it inside the 35-yard line. Again, it's the middle linebacker, Eugene Lockhart, who had a Cowboy record 154 solo tackles last year, in on this one. But a flag is down at the 39 of Dallas.
Ken Norton, I think, was offside, number 51. I'm not sure, but I think that's what it looked like.
Offside. Number 51 on the defense. 5 yards, still second down.
So it was, Hank, the weak side linebacker. The Cowboys flip-flop their outside linebackers, Del Rio and Norton.
What they did, they sent the tight end in motion to the right side. It made Norton play the strong side linebacker, and that's what happened on the play. He was eager to come across the line of scrimmage and was offside.
2nd and 3 from the Dallas 33 as the Cardinals drive with their first possession. Both wide receivers to the near side of the field. That's where Rosenbaum looks and throws, and it's taken in. The catch by Roy Green, and that is a record-equaling catch by the 12-year veteran out of Henderson State. That ties Jackie Smith's career mark with the Cardinals and club record of 480. We talked to Roy yesterday about what the record would mean to him. Hank, what did he do with that football? He wasn't impressed, was he?
No, he really wasn't. He's been through the mill. He said, well, it'll be nice to have that. I'll enjoy it much more as the years pass on.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Handoff left side, tripping and falling forward inside the 15 is Johnny Johnson.
And that's the great thing, Jim, about the high formation. He's back there about 7 yards, Johnny Johnson. He's going right to the right side, and then he sees the over-pursuing defense of Dallas, which gives him the extra room from the I formation to cut back and take advantage of the weak side. Weak side meaning the split inside of the formation, and he picked up nice yardage on a play, almost broke it clean.
Jeffcoat and Robert Williams in on the tackle. 2nd and 1 from the 15-yard line. Cowboys showing blitz, may have jumped off sides. Here's Johnson again, fighting his way inside the 5.
It looks like Dallas was definitely offside, trying to anticipate the count. He gave him a little different look, sound with the inflection on the call that time, and I think he drew somebody offside of Dallas.
Penalty is declined, and the Cardinals will have it 1st and goal.
Penalty is declined. 1st down.
Del Rio was offside. Here comes a run. Look at him switch the ball, but he should have switched it away from the pressure to his left arm instead of his right arm. That's where all the traffic is coming from.
Norton makes the tackle. If he doesn't, Johnson's in the end zone. Rosenbaugh, very active and agile, will run himself. Stopped short of the goal line. Boy, he took on Holt down there, and he also took on Del Rio. We talked to Rosenbaugh about that yesterday. He said, hey, I'm gonna take my shots, but if I've got somebody down there that's a little smaller, what can I do? I might run over him, right?
Yeah, but he didn't on that time. Holt is not smaller, much smaller. He's a tough guy. Came up and made the tackle. And incidentally, if the Cardinals score on this drive, it'll be the first touchdown they made in the first quarter all year long.
Cardinals with a week off to get ready for this one. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Well, the right side looks like it's good.
Cowboys going to blitz again. Handoff. Johnson. Touchdown, Cardinals.
He inserted that one. He got it in there. That was a soft spot in the defense. They had a wingback on the right side. There was a little soft spot in there, and he took advantage of it and pumped it right in there for the touchdown.
I beg your pardon. That was Anthony Thompson on the touchdown. The rookie out of Indiana, only his 12th carry of this young season, but he was inserted down near the goal line, and he bangs it home, his 2nd touchdown of his NFL career. Al Del Greco comes on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tom Tupa. And the Cardinals quickly in front. Snap is back, and Del Greco's extra point attempt is up and perfect. So the Cardinals, who came in with the 26th offense in the NFL, doing some damage early against the Cowboys and quickly taking the lead. Thompson's touchdown, Hank.
Here's another shot of it from ground level. They got a wingback on the right side. He just hands the ball. Look, he makes a good move. He looked like he was trying to get outside. He saw the seam, saw the cavity inside, got a good push there by the right side of the offensive line. Tootie Robbins, Lance Smith, and Walter Reeves, and he puts it right in there for the touchdown.
Thompson was a 2nd-round pick out of Indiana, the first pick of the Cardinals this year, who had given up their number 1 in the supplemental to get Rosenbaugh the year before. They thought this would be the guy to rejuvenate a running attack that was really dormant for them, but he can't get into the lineup because Johnson has played so well.
It's a good situation to have because you know how often running backs go down during the course of the season, so it's good to have a couple of them or 2 or 3 of them fill in during that slack period.
Jimmy Johnson, when we talked to him last night, worried about the offensive line of the Cardinals. They're much bigger than the Dallas defensive front. They pretty much stuffed them on that drive. Al Del Greco to kick it off for the 2nd time here in the first quarter. Back deep are Dixon and Wright. This is Dixon from about the 6. Looking for running room. Stringing it out across the field, but he can't turn the corner. Brought down just as he crosses the 20-yard line. Don Holmes, a wide receiver with a lot of speed, brings him down.
Here's a good picture of Jimmy Johnson. I talked to him, of course we did yesterday, but I had a nice visit with him on the field before the game. He feels very good about his young football team. He thinks he's making very good progress. Thinks they're going in the right direction. Talked to Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. He's very enthusiastic and seems to be very involved with that football team.
Cowboys coming in at 2-3, hoping to get to 500. Backs it an eye for Aikman on 1st and 10 from his 20. Aikman looking to throw deep near sideline, incomplete. Overthrowing Dennis McKinnon, who was streaking down the right sideline, but he was well covered by the cornerback Cedric Mack.
I talked to David Shula this morning about their offensive personality and their scheme going into this game. He said the last couple of weeks, while we travel kind of slow, we've taken the skateboard, taken the bus. We're going to try to take the jet a little bit more this afternoon. And there was an illustration of it, but they're playing a soft zone, so you got to be careful.
2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Cardinals leading early, 7-0 with 9:16 to play in the first quarter. Smith out of that tailback spot, stumbling forward up close to the 24-yard line. Eric Hill, the middle linebacker, trips him up, the former number 1 draft choice out of LSU.
Interesting, yesterday we talked to both Johnny Johnson and also Emma Smith, asked them how many times they had to carry the ball before they got cranked up and in the flow of the game. Both of them said about the same thing. They have to carry the ball anywhere from 12 to 15 times, and then the more they carry it and the longer the game goes, the better they feel and the more success they enjoy.
Smith comes to the sideline now on 3rd down and 7 from the Dallas 23. Cardinals will bring in 6 defensive backs. Straight drop for Aikman. He may run. He will run. He'll be dropped short of the 30-yard line, and the Cowboys will have to punt it away.
And that time they blitzed the outside linebackers that time, and but they went way up the field. It provided with Aikman with the opportunity to take advantage of the run. He got some yardage, but not enough for the first down.
Eldonta Osborne, a rookie free agent out of Louisiana Tech, on the tackle, and Mike Saxon comes on to punt it away. Back deep, former Pro Bowler by Sikahema. Saxon with a 42.4-yard average.
He kicks the ball high, too. He kicks it so high, comes down with a little ice on it.
Ice is hard to find right here today. It's about 92 degrees here in Sun Devil Stadium. Cardinals with a return on. Sikahema has room to run from his own 35. Brought down short of the 45-yard line, as the Cardinals will have good field position. Just a 37-yard punt by Saxon and an 8-yard Sikahema return. Cardinals up early here 7-0 with 7:30 to play in the first quarter. Darrell Johnston, running back for the Cowboys, downfield to make the tackle. Cardinals have a lot of new things going for them this year, including a new quarterback, running back, tight end, and center in their offensive lineup.
And I think Joe Bugel's going to do a good job. He's got a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of animation, and it rubs off on that team.
Rosenbach, quick out near sideline, caught by Roy Green, and he's bumped out of bounds close to the sticks. Looks like he'll be just short. Roy Green, an amazing 12-year veteran out of Henderson State, began his career with the Cardinals as a cornerback. And he was telling us yesterday that before he retires, and he thinks that day is far in the future, before he retires, he'd like to intercept another pass, and that's the record breaker right there. He had tied the record of Jackie Smith earlier, and that one breaks it. He is now the all-time leading receiver in number of catches for the St. Louis and now Phoenix Cardinals. 481 balls this gentleman's caught. His entire team comes off the bench to salute him.
You know, Dad, the great thing, he's got a terrific attitude. All these years, he's still playing like he's a rookie. Emmett Thomas, the great cornerback for us at Kansas City, helped him tremendously when he was at St. Louis. And here are all the all-time leaders. There we see a good shot of him.
He's got some good company. Jackie Smith, Pat Tilley, Bobby Joe Conrad, and Mel Gray trail him now. A credit to this team both on and off the field. Roy Green, handoff, banging straight ahead and scrambling for every inch is Johnny Johnson. Jim Jeffcoat brings him down. Tim Rosenbaugh, 4 out of 4 for 31 yards here early. And again, Hank, the presence of the running attack.
Yeah, you got to be able to run. There's no question about that. As I mentioned at the opening of the show, what it does, it really helps the linemen. They love it. They love when you run the ball. Plus the fact that it helps tremendously with their pass blocking responsibilities because you don't get such a severe rush.
1st and 10 from the Dallas 43, 6:40 to play first quarter. Cardinals lead 7-0. Johnson once more stopped short of the 40 after a short gain of a couple. Johnny Johnson, quite a story, a 7th-round draft pick out of San Jose State. In fact, he was a wide receiver earlier in his collegiate career. 5 carries for 30 yards here, a 6-yard per carry average early. He was averaging 4.1 coming in, and his 303 yards on the ground led the NFC. 2 wide receivers split out to the near side of the field on 2nd and 8 from the 41. Ernie Jones and Green in there now. They'll run it to the other side with Johnson, and he has got the first down and more. The ball might have come free inside the 30-yard line, but it appears that the Cardinals will retain possession.
Yeah,
Jim Jeffcoat and Ray Horton on the tackle.
The ground can't create a fumble, and I think that's what happened, if there was any doubt about that. But there again, you know, all the great backs really have terrifically outstanding vision. There he ran to the right side, saw a cavity inside, took advantage of it. And I think the great backs also have the decision-making ability that, right or wrong, they make a cut and they stay with it.
That's a 12-yard pickup and another Cardinal first down at the 29 of Dallas.
Look at all the room on that right side.
Rosenbaugh wants to throw near sideline. It's caught inside the 20-yard line by Ernie Jones. Robert Williams, the veteran cornerback out of Baylor, makes the stop after an 11-yard pickup. Rosenbaugh sharp early.
The corners are playing so soft. They're concerned about the deep speed, and so, you know, all you have to do is play catch out there, throw the ball in front of either one of the defensive backs. I'm really surprised he didn't throw right. That was one-on-one. Looked like they rotated the defense to the left side. One-on-one on the right side, and the defensive back was about 10 yards deep.
Tim Rosenbaugh has taken every snap for the Cardinals this year. 1st and 10 from the 18. Sweeping left. And pushed out of bounds is Johnny Johnson once more. Jack Del Rio, the strong side linebacker, forces him out of bounds at the 12-yard line of the Cowboys.
And here again, they got a good push on the left side of the offensive line. Nobody pulled, and all he does is read the block, and especially of the tight end. If the tight end is able to hook the linebacker, he's going to go outside just like he did. If he pushes him outside, he'll go inside. He's a good reader. Terrific vision.
2nd and 4 as Rosenbaugh comes to the Cardinal bench as Phoenix takes a 40-second timeout. Well, Joe Bugle's a very upbeat guy, isn't he, Hank? And he's just right for this situation, it would appear.
Yeah, he really does. He's got a good personality. He's one of the guys. In fact, I asked one of the players what he felt the difference was between Joe Bugle and some of the other coaches they played for. He said, well, you can talk to Joe anytime, on the field, in the office. It doesn't make any difference. Some of the other coaches, it was like going to the principal's office. So it was a pretty good illustration.
The former offensive line coach of the Hogs with the Washington Redskins, Jimmy Johnson, in his 2nd year with the Cowboys.
And really, Jimmy, as I mentioned earlier, he and his staff, I think, are on the right track. I talked to David Shula before the game. They all feel good about the progress they're making. They don't have any false illusions. They just feel that they're on the right track. And I think the big thing about it is the players feel the same way.
7th play in this drive forthcoming by the Cardinals. 2nd and about 4 from the 12. Green in motion. Rosenbaugh incomplete, very nearly intercepted on the tip ball. Off the fingertips of Tim Jordan, the tight end, and oftentimes H-back. Isaac Holt had a shot at the interception down close to the 5-yard line. That's been a real problem for the Cowboys this year. Just one interception going in.
You know, the other thing, looking at that offensive line that time of the Cardinals, their left side was way off the ball, and the reason for that was they wanted to get a little bit more room for pass protection purposes.
3rd and 4 from the 12-yard line of Dallas. Cardinals looking to augment their 7-0 lead. Rosenbaugh take off. And be stopped inside the 5. A stiff tackle in the open field by the strong safety, Vince Albritton.
That was like a quarterback draw. I don't know whether it was or not. But the middle was open. They had a middle linebacker. Look at it. He goes back and sets. It definitely was a quarterback draw. It was set up to be a draw. And look at the hit by Albritton, number 36. He really gives him a little shot right in the smush. Gives him knocked him backwards.
In the what?
In the smush.
Oh, okay.
That can mean anything.
Rosenbaugh 2nd on the team in rushing coming in, so he's no stranger to toting the ball upfield. 1st and goal from the 5 for the Cardinals, who lead 7-0 in the 1st quarter. Louis Sharp moved. Number 67 moved prematurely.
Well, he moved. See, he had to pull from his left tackle position all the way over.
7 on the offense. Still 1st down.
He had to pull from his left tackle position all the way over across the offensive, the line of scrimmage, and as a result, he's trying to get a jump. Jumped a little bit too soon, and then they called him for being illegally in motion.
Former number 1 draft choice out of UCLA and a perennial Pro Bowl performer. So that'll set the ball back to the 10-yard line on the penalty, where it will be 1st and goal Cardinals. 3:22 to play in the 1st quarter. 2 wide receivers split out to the right. Rosenbaugh to Johnson. Fights inside the 5. Fights to the goal line. Did he get in? He's awfully close.
It all depends where his knee is. If his knee went down before he got the ball over across the plane, it's going to be marked short of the goal line.
By inches. He stretched that football out, but as you say, Hank, they said his knee was down first.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Not many people realize it isn't the ball. If your knee goes down, that's where the ball is marked. Look at him fight through the traffic like he's going through. There's his knee. That's a good play on the part of the official. He didn't get it across.
Second and goal from inside the 1 for the Cardinals.
Right side, right side.
Thompson again, up, over, and short. Anthony Thompson went airborne, but he was brought down just inches short of that goal line.
He shouldn't have jumped. Had he just maintained his balance and picked his way, there was definitely an advantage on that right side. Watch him take off on the right side. See, look, if he goes to the outside and he's got the ball in the right arm instead of the left arm, he'd have gone in standing up. He had the ball in the wrong arm and made the wrong cut.
Holt, Del Rio, and Lockhart all in on the stop. Ball remains about 3 inches from that goal line. And they might be looking at this one upstairs, Hank.
Well, I don't think he made it, but I think it's good that they look at it just to make sure they don't make a mistake. But here it is from the goal line perspective here.
Well, his feet were in, but where did the ball come down?
Yeah, I think maybe this is the opposite of what we saw a minute ago. His feet came in, but the ball was on the other side of the goal line.
Review by the replay official, the play stands. Third down.
So it will be 3rd and inches from inside the 1.
He didn't have a good choice. Didn't make a good decision on that run. Should have been in there standing up.
Cardinals, who were slightly favored in this game, looking to go on top by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Here's Thompson going wide this time. Holt drops him for the loss. We welcome all of you who watched the San Francisco 49ers remain undefeated at the expense of the Atlanta Falcons. This is Jim Henderson along with Hank Stram from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, where this crowd of Sun worshipers and Cardinal worshipers imploring their team to punch it in the end zone on 4th and inches. We have 1:19 to play in the first quarter, and the Cardinals are already leading 7-0 and looking for more. Ends in tight on 4th and inches.
The last time he had the ball in the wrong arm again. Jim.
Thompson didn't get there. The Cowboys hold. Jimmy Jones making his first start, the 3rd-round draft choice out of Miami, holds the Cardinals out of the end zone. They lead 7-0.
It's Anthony Thompson now. He runs to his right. He's got the ball in the left arm. He should have it in his right arm. So this is the 3rd down play. Look at now. Jordan's out in front. Had he had the ball in the right arm, he could have used his left arm and left hand to ward off the would-be tackler and gone in for the touchdown. He went in there handcuffed and couldn't make the play.
Joe Bugle gambles and fails, going for it on 4th and inches from inside the 1-yard line. The Cowboys are able to answer the challenge, but now they're trying to get it out from the shadow of their own goalposts. Giving it off to the tailback, and he cracks forward for a couple of yards. That's Emmitt Smith. I bet Emmitt had a rough night last night after what happened to his Gators against Tennessee, Hank. When we had him up in the room, we're talking to him, he had divided attention.
I think he was looking for the air hose after that game.
Gators really got banged around in that second half to the Vols. Just 42 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. 2nd and 8 from the 3. Tailback gets the call once more, and Smith is across the 5 up close to the 6-yard line. Eric Hill and Rod Sadler, the defensive end and middle linebacker, combine on the stop.
Defense of the Cardinals is reacting very well to what's happening up front, shedding blockers and making tackles.
Smith last week, 23 carries for 121 yards, including a 14-yard touchdown for the game winner against Tampa. And that will be our last play of quarter number 1. In the Valley of the Sun, that's the end of our first quarter with the score. Phoenix 7 and Dallas nothing. We here at CBS really looking forward to Tuesday night when we'll begin our live coverage of the 1990 World Series. That starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. Defending champion Oakland A's traveling to Riverfront Stadium for Game 1 against the Cincinnati Reds. Jose Rio gets the start against Dave Stewart in a battle of right-handers. Up among the saguaro on top of one of the buttes overlooking Sun Devil Stadium. That's their vantage point. And they're seeing a pretty entertaining football game. After one quarter, the Cardinals are leading 7-0. 3rd and 6 for the Cowboys. From their 6. Aikman throws it away. He was being chased by Rod Sadler in his own end zone.
The difference in the game so far, too, Jim, Dallas has had possession 4:43 in the first quarter, and Phoenix 10-17. Plus the fact that I think Dallas has really been in the soup most of the time in this contest and really has not had an opportunity to operate at full strength with their offense.
Could be another short field here for the Cardinals, Hank.
That's right. Another great opportunity for them to go in for another score, either a touchdown or a field goal.
Saxon's first effort just 37 yards. He's backed up all the way at his own end line. Sikahema will field this punt, and a beauty it is, all the way back at his 41. Stopped short of midfield. Good tackle by James Washington. The Cardinals will have the ball when we return, and they lead 7-0. Cardinals trying to stay cool on their bench. It's supposed to be about 92 degrees here today, but the temperature is beautiful and the humidity is low. It's a gorgeous day to be a spectator, if not a player. Johnny Johnson has carried 8 times for 57 yards already. On the reverse
pass.
Green looks downfield. Caught by Smith at the 44-yard line.
Roy Green was all smiles yesterday. They line up in this formation. He pitches the ball and then gives it to Roy Green on the reverse. Then all of a sudden he stops. Good protection up front, throws the ball a little bit upside down, I think, but it got there in good shape, and the reception was made. 1st and 10.
But there's a flag back all the way at the 48-yard line.
The flag will be picked up. First down.
All right. 20-yard pickup for the Cardinals as they pick up the flag as well.
Well, he throws the ball, he catches the ball, he plays defense. Now he wants to make an interception. What else is there?
Well, he wants to get his handicap down below 9 as well.
Well, they better put an eraser around the pencil. They might.
Very avid golfer is Roy Jetstream Green, who's flanked out wide to the left. Smith wide right. 1st and 10 Cardinals at the 33 of the Cowboys. 14-13 to play second quarter. Cardinals lead 7-0. Caught and out of bounds. That's Green once more. You know, Roy Green came into this game, Hank, with only 10 receptions. He has been tremendously busy here early in this game.
Well, he's going to continue to be busy if the defensive backs play is soft. By soft, I mean they're playing deep. And really and truly, he didn't have to go through all that motion to get the ball out there. All he had to do really was go back in the pocket and dump it out there to him, because he's got all kinds of room, anywhere from 10 to 12 yards.
Pickup of 7 will be 2nd and 3 at the 26-yard line of Dallas. Rosenbaugh on the counter to Johnson. He's still on his feet. And he's at the 15-yard line. A flag comes in late. Strong safety Vince Albritton on the tackle. Good block by Lance Smith at right guard, and a face mask penalty will go against the Cowboys for additional yardage.
Beautiful block by Lance Smith, number 61, the right guard. He got a good inside-out position.
Number 36 on the defense. First down.
Albritton brings him down by the face mask.
There you see a good shot of it right there. Grabs the face mask, penalty on the play. But again, a beautiful block that we don't see by Lance Smith, the right guard, number 61.
Johnny Johnson carries for 11. He now has 68 yards in 9 carries, and we've got almost an entire second quarter yet to be played. First and goal from the 10 for the Cardinals, who lead 7-0. Johnson to the 6. Ken Norton brings him down. Johnson had 10 receptions coming into this game, and we noted earlier, Hank, he was a wide receiver earlier in his career at San Jose State.
Yes, and we asked him that question yesterday about the running and the pass receiving, and he smiled and he said, "I love to catch the ball because there again he's got an opportunity to work in a linebacker most of the time on a one-on-one situation in the open field. He feels he's got the advantage."
Second and goal from the 6 for the Cardinals. Johnson with the pitch. Ball comes loose. Dallas has recovered at the 2. Ken Norton.
Good reaction on the part of the Dallas defense. Norton takes a good angle.
So the Cardinals blow an opportunity to lead further and hold a 7-0 lead. Twice now, Hank, Phoenix has had the ball inside the Dallas 1 and come away with nothing.
Yeah, that really hurts. You know, if you don't get the touchdown, which is what you want to get, at least you ought to come out with 3. They don't get anything.
Cowboys again operating deep from their own territory at the 2-yard line. Straight ahead, the fullback, Alonzo Highsmith. Let's see that fumble once more, Hank. Who hit him?
Watch Horton, number 20, comes in, and he really hits him with the hat right on the ball. You'll see him coming in here. There's the hit. The ball pops right out of there, and then Norton, number 51, very alert, pounces right on the fumble, and Dallas has possession, 1st and 10.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 for the Cowboys.
I'd throw the ball up on top and try to get some kind of a big play. Keep both backs in, but throw it up on top.
Underneath and off the fingertips of Emmitt Smith at the 6-yard line.
He had the kind of coverage he wanted to look like on that last play, Jim, and that's why I thought perhaps he might try to go up on top and try to take advantage. You know, even if you don't complete the pass, there's always a good chance that you might get pass interference or some kind of a break offensively to get out of that bad area and get some working room. Dallas hasn't had it at all in this game.
No, their deepest penetration to date, their own 44-yard line. 5 defensive backs in the game for the Cardinals. On 3rd and 8 from the Dallas 4. Complete to Novacek, but short of the first down. Jay Novacek, the former Cardinal, but he didn't get the first down, didn't go far enough.
And there again, that's like throwing bubble gum in a battleship. You know, it doesn't do any good. They're playing a soft zone. You got to get the ball downfield in the middle area to a tight end or a receiver in the middle and somebody at the hash marks.
Novacek leading the NFC tight ends in receptions with 20 coming into this game, but he's a yard short of the needed yardage for first down, and Mike Saxon, who's been busy here early, to punt it away again. Sikahema waiting at his own 45. This is a beauty, high, lazy spiral from his 32 to his 45 for Sikahema. A 56-yard punt and a 12-yard return. 10:52 to play in the second quarter, and the Cardinals lead 7-0. Chamber of Commerce Day in Tempe, Arizona, at Sun Devil Stadium, the home of Arizona State University. They played a tough game here last night in losing to California. Cardinals are leading 7-0, but they've had 2 excellent chances go awry. They could be on top 21-0 here.
They really should be had 21-0.
Rosenbaugh with play action. Throwing deep downfield for Green, tipped away, incomplete. Isaac Holt on the man-for-man coverage.
And that's what we talked about earlier in the pregame show a little bit what play action passes do. You say it's a play action, it holds the rush, and he has an opportunity to throw the ball down the field for possibly a big play. A good defensive play on the part, I couldn't see the number.
Isaac Holt it was.
Isaac Holt, number 30. Good defensive play.
Rosenbaugh's had the reputation for not being able to throw the deep ball, but that one was right on the money.
He's 7 for 9 so far, 53 yards.
2nd and 10 from the 45 of the Cardinals. Rosenbaugh to scramble. Brought down short of midfield by Jimmy Jones, 3rd-round draft choice out of Miami.
You know, that's the thing with quarterbacks who have the capacity to run the ball and have great escapability skill. They'll take a look, a quick sniff downfield to see what the coverage is, and if it isn't what they see, because of their running ability, they won't go to the 2nd and 3rd receiver. They'll just take off and run and get as much out of the play as they possibly can, and that was an illustration of it on the last play.
6 defensive backs in the game for Dallas on 3rd and 6 from the 49. Rosenbaugh's got his receiver Prohl at the 39-yard line. That's a 1st down for the Cardinals.
There again, those corners are playing so deep that all they have to, I was surprised in that situation that they would still play as deep. But now watch the deep man, watch the slot man go to the outside, makes the catch, and that time really they were actually really in man-for-man coverage instead of zone. I thought they were in zone initially.
12-yard pickup. He beat Ron Francis. His brother James was the 1st-round pick of the Bengals and early favorite to be Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC. 1st and 10 from the 39. Johnson gets another call. Stopped after a short gain by Danny Noonan, former #1 draft choice out of Nebraska.
One thing about these two young teams, you can see they're both very aggressive, react very well to what they see, playing with a lot of enthusiasm. And Dallas has really dodged a couple of bullets because we talked about it just a moment ago. The score really should be 21.
One thing we ought to take note of, Hank, how long Dallas has been on the field defensively here on a very hot afternoon.
That is a good point.
2nd and 8 from the 37-yard line of the Cowboys. Movement up front. Underneath for Prohl. Out of bounds at the 14-yard line. There's a flag down back at the 40-yard line of the Cowboys after a 23-yard pickup by Prohl. James Washington forced him out of bounds. Offsides, Dallas. The play will stand.
And Dallas was very...
Offside, number 98 on the defense. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
That time they had a safety way back deep in the middle, but the middle area, as far as the passing area is concerned, was wide open, which is obvious by Prohl's course across the middle of the field for the reception.
Mitch Willis, a free agent, just returned to the squad this week after an injury to Dean Hamill was offsides. 1st and 10 from the 14. Anthony Thompson gets the call, and he squirms forward for a couple. Danny Stubbs on the tackle. Rosenbaugh through the air, 7 of 9 for 53 yards.
And Jerry Rome, who works with the quarterbacks of the offense of the Cardinals, talking to him yesterday, he was very, very high on Tim Rosenbaugh, thinks he's going to be an excellent quarterback and has responded very well to the teaching process that prevails here in this early stage of the season.
Cardinals have won the last 3 games in this series. 2nd and 8 from the 12.
Look at the one-on-one on the left side.
Underneath for Prohl. Dropped at the 11.
See, they got it on both sides, and all he has to do is take a look. What he has to do is pre-read and see which of the corners is playing a little deeper than the other, and that's where you go with the ball. Obviously, I didn't notice it, but I was looking on the left side, but it looks like that the corner on the left side, Holt, was deeper, so he threw the ball in front of Holt. It's just that simple.
Ricky Prohl is the rookie out of Wake Forest, a third-round draft choice who led the team coming into this game with 15 receptions. 8th play in this drive forthcoming as the Cardinals really dominating in time of possession in this first half. 7 DBs in the game for Dallas on 3rd and 7 from the 11.
Now they got the middle open from a run standpoint.
Into the end zone, incomplete. He overthrew Jones, who was wide open 5 yards deep in the Dallas end zone. Ernie Jones had a big game last year against the Cowboys, including a 72-yard touchdown reception. He had another one there if Rosenbaugh could have located him. And so Al Del Greco will come on to attempt a field goal of 29 yards.
I can't remember seeing a team have that many opportunities and not score on 2 of them.
Officially 28 yards for Del Greco from the right hash mark. His attempt is up and good. And the Cardinals increase their lead. 6:21 to play, quarter number 2, and it's Phoenix 10 and Dallas nothing. Al Del Greco to kick it away once more after providing a 28-yard field goal and increasing the Cardinal lead from 7-0 to 10-0.
And it's very important for Dallas to get some kind of a good return on this to get them in good field position so they can operate efficiently offensively. They haven't been able to do that at all in this game.
They really need a spark back deep to hopefully provide it for the Cowboys. James Dixon along with Alexander Wright, both speedsters. Good kickoff by Del Greco standards. Wright, the speedster, will bring it out. 20, 25, 30. Flag goes down as he's dumped in front of the Cardinal bench, short of the 35-yard line. Flag is down back at the 20. Del Greco made the tackle. Illegal use of hands against the Cowboys. They have really been their own worst enemy here early.
Never fails. You think with that rule being in effect after all these years, you think they would be able to do a better job of it. But you know what the problem is, Jim?
Illegal block during the run back. Number 55, the receivers half the distance to the goal. First down.
What happens is
We'll get back to that thought in just 1 minute. The Cardinals lead 10-0. Hank, the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect the Phoenix dominance in this game, 10-0, but the statistics certainly do.
Well, it's overwhelming in favor of the Phoenix Cardinals, and it's very obvious looking at what we see here. Dallas 37 yards to 200 yards. Good protection on the play, had plenty of time to throw the ball, and Reed, they're playing a double zone, which means they're doubling the outside receivers, which also means that you ought to be able to hit the ball, throw the ball to the tight end or a back or somebody in the middle area against that double zone.
Jimmy Johnson really likes Alexander Wright out of Auburn. He's awfully raw, but he has a great deal of speed. That's a first down pickup. Smith with a flag down, sweeps, gets nothing. Eric Hill out of LSU on the tackle. But there's a flag down on the play that Red Cashin will explain. Offsides against the Cardinals.
Lined up in the neutral zone. Number 78 on the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
That's Freddie Joe Nunn. Hank, I know you say you don't know how a player can do that.
No, it's hard. All they have to look down to the right in that particular case because he's playing defensive left end and see where the ball is. The neutral zone is the area between the length of the football. That's the neutral zone. And once you get your hand across there or touching that ball, you're offside.
1st and 5 now after the penalty from the 31. On the delay, there's some running room for Smith. Fights his way into Cardinal territory to make that his own 45-yard line. just short of midfield. Lonnie Young forces him out of bounds.
Now the great thing about this run, Emmitt Smith, now watch him jump to the outside. Watch where the ball is. It's away from pressure. Watch him use his right arm. See, now he wars off another would-be tackler, but he gets an extra 7 or 8 yards by having the ball away from pressure. So he can use that right hand and right arm to straight arm people and go for big yardage.
14-yard pickup. 5 carries for 28 yards for Smith, who gets the call again. He may just be into Cardinal territory. Well, he said in that game last week that he didn't get a chance to shake and bake the way he wants to, the way he knows he can.
Well, we asked him what he meant by shake and bake because everybody has a different interpretation of what that means. He said, well, really, I just want to get a one-on-one situation as many times as I possibly can, and that's when I shake and bake, and I ought to be able to beat anybody in the open field.
2nd and 5 from midfield, 4:11 to play here in the second quarter. Cardinals are leading 10-0, but the Cowboys have their best drive to date going. Give it off to A.G., and he's down to the 46-yard line of the Cardinals. Tommy A.G., a Plan B acquisition from Kansas City. Speaking of Kansas City, they had a back, Barry Word, today, run for about 200 yards.
Well, I'm sure, you know, if he plays with the big guy, Okoye, why, then, of course, they're probably keying on him so much they gave it to the first back, and he probably wore out a couple of pairs of shoes out there this afternoon.
It's supposed to be a big duel between Sanders and Okoye. Instead, it was Barry Word who had the last word for the Chiefs. 3rd and 1 from the 46. Smith has the first down. Nice job of reading his blocking there.
And he waited long enough to take advantage of the blocks out in front. And here again, he hasn't carried the ball many times yet in this game. But as he talked earlier in the week, he said that there's his 7 rushes for 39 yards. But he said he really doesn't get cranked up and warmed up until he carries the ball about 12 to 15 times. So he's got a little more time to get warmed up, I guess.
Stadium clock's malfunctioning. We can tell you it's running, and with 2:45 to play in quarter number 2, the Cowboys have a 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 40. Aikman hit and dropped by Freddie Joe Nunn. First sack of the day by either team.
From the left side, here we see Freddie Joe Nunn. There he comes. Somebody, I couldn't tell who it was trying to block him, but did do a very good job, and he whistled right by him for the sack on the play.
Nunn's 3rd sack of this season and 1st of the day for the Cardinals, who've had a hard time generating a pass rush. They get one there. 2nd and 16 from the 46 of Phoenix. And there's another. Rod Sadler out of Texas A&M drops Aikman. 2 plays, 2 sacks for the Cardinals. So we have reached the 2-minute warning with the score Phoenix 10 and Dallas nothing.
Watch Crawford Kerr here, the left guard, number 68. See, he's trying to block Sadler. He's got a bad ankle, left the game, but Sadler licked him on the inside and got the sack.
And with those 2 sacks, it's now 3rd and 23 from the Cowboy 47. Incomplete at the 46-yard line. Intended, I believe, for Alexander Wright. So this Cardinal crowd cheering the defense, which is right now pitching a shutout at the Cowboys with 1:55 to play in the first half.
And they went into the game and worked all week long on getting a stronger pass rush, and they're getting it here this afternoon, putting a lot of pressure on Troy Aikman. He really hasn't had a chance to set and throw the ball like he normally has a chance to do.
Mike Saxon to punt it away once more. Sikahema wants the fair catch. Makes it at his 15. We've got 1:48 to play after a 38-yard punt with no return. The Cardinals lead the Cowboys 10-0. We got a great lineup coming up for you next Saturday in college football right here on CBS. It begins at 12 Eastern as Penn State takes on Boston College. Then one of the most bitter rivalries in collegiate football coming up after that. The 3rd-ranked Miami Hurricanes traveling to Notre Dame to take on the 8th-ranked Fighting Irish. Winner hopes to stay in the national championship hunt. It all starts at 12 Eastern Saturday on CBS Sports.
And we talked to Jimmy Johnson yesterday, and I asked him what he thought about the game. He said Miami should win the game because Notre Dame's defense is not nearly as good as it has been. Miami should win the contest.
From their own 15, their worst field position of the day to start a drive, the Cardinals get going, and Rosenbach will keep. Rosenbach brought down just short of the 20-yard line.
And the other thing, Jim, what they've done, they've taken out their H-back, Tim Jordan, who normally goes from side to side, 85, and usually a blocker. They've taken him out and are playing with 3 wide receivers, Roy Green, J.T. Smith, and Ricky Prohl. So they've changed the personality of their offense on this series.
Tim Rosenbaugh answers to the nickname Rosie. 2nd and 6 from the 19. Sort of figures, doesn't it? Underneath for Sikahema, dropped short of the 20-yard line. That was a dangerous pass, almost intercepted by the Cowboys.
The Cowboys have to, with the way they're playing offensively and their field position, as bad as it had been, they've got to do something with their specialty teams and also with their defense.
And don't forget, at halftime, we'll be sending you back to New York, where Greg and Terry are standing by with all the latest scores and updates from around the NFL. Also, the latest word on the World Series. Upcoming early this week.
And Jim, you know, Rosenbaugh is 11 of 14 for 89 yards so far.
Off to a good start. He's looking at 3rd and 6 right here. From his own 19. Prohl in motion. Dropped for a loss. Jeffcoat brings down Johnson.
Here again, they pull a left tackle and a left guard. Jeffcoat came across there. Good penetration. Got the play from the backside. Beautiful play by Jeffcoat.
Punt of the first half. It has but 55 seconds remaining. Second leading punter in the NFC, averaging nearly 44 yards per punt. Rod Harris back deep for the Cowboys. Dallas might just be coming after this one.
They got to come after it. They got an overload on the left side to the offensive right.
Barely gets it away. Harris from his own 41 to the 44. Nice coverage downfield by the Cardinals. 43-yard punt, just a 4-yard return by Rod Harris, the Plan B acquisition from the New Orleans Saints. Eldonta Osborne, a linebacker by trade. On the special teams is downfield to drop him at his own 44-yard line. Just 44 seconds remaining before halftime.
They had to go after that punt. They had to try to make something happen before the half ended, to maybe get a field goal or get a touchdown some way, somehow. But they, as I mentioned earlier, their specialty teams and their defense has to do something.
Dallas is only averaging 14 points per game coming in here, and right now they have nothing on the scoreboard with 44 seconds remaining before halftime. Aikman misreading the intention of his wide receiver. I think that was Michael Irvin, just back after recovering from knee surgery, who broke off his route early.
And talking to Jimmy Johnson, he indicated that Irvin has really been practicing very hard the last 2 weeks, and he's excited about what contribution he can make to this football team from here on in, providing he can stay healthy.
Played for the first time last week in the victory over Tampa Bay after off-season arthroscopic surgery on his knee. He split out wide to the right as the Cowboys employ 4 wide receivers in the shotgun on 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 44. Oh, what a hit at the 42. Dennis McKinnon was really sandwiched between the safeties.
Yeah, he got caught in the vice on that one. You talk about getting a shot. Now he's coming across the middle. There's a release of the ball. Look at, he's up in the air when he gets hit by McDonald. A good shot, and those are the kind that really hurt when you're in the air and get a shot.
Tim McDonald, one of the toughest tacklers in any secondary around the NFL, really laid the wood to it. 3rd and 10 from the 44. Blitz. Dumps it off, incomplete. Intended for Darrell Johnston, the former second-round draft choice out of Syracuse, and he drops the ball. He had some room to take that upfield.
I'll tell you one thing, Dallas is very, very lucky that they're only losing by 10 points. They should be losing at this stage. The way the game has gone, they did a terrific job in a couple of goal line stands. They should be losing by another 14 points.
That was Eldonta Osborne who was blitzing and came in untouched on Aikman. Mike Saxon has been busy in the first half, and he'll have to punt it away again. Just 31 seconds remaining before halftime. Cardinals with a return on for Sikahema from his 17 to about his 18. A 39-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. Just 21 seconds remaining before halftime. Bill Bates downfield to make the tackle. And don't forget, Tuesday night, be watching right here on CBS as the A's and the Reds do battle in Game 1 of what promises to be an excellent World Series. The A's, one of the teams for the ages, it would appear, and the Reds with that great bullpen. Some timely hitting. Should be an interesting World Series that we'll be privileged to bring you here on CBS. Hope you'll be with us all the way for that one. Cardinals are going to kneel on the ball and go to the halftime locker room with a 10-0 lead that could easily have been 24-0. That's the end of our first half with the score of Phoenix 10 and Dallas nothing.
Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda at your local dealer today. Levi's 505 and 506 jeans. And by AT&T, the right choice. Press for documents, packages, and freight, the best way to ship it over there. And by Budweiser, with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud.
We're at halftime at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, where the Cardinals lead the Cowboys by a score of 10-0. A 1-yard touchdown run by Anthony Thompson and a 28-yard Del Greco field goal, but they could easily be ahead by a great deal more than that.
Oh, they're lucky they're not down 24-0. That's what they lost possession 2 times on the 1-yard line going in, which is a great compliment to Dallas defense, but it should be 24-0.
Really should be. The Cardinals have controlled things. They've controlled the football, and they've controlled the game, really. Although it's only 10-0, the stats certainly reflect that sort of domination, Hank.
Yes, no question about that. Look at the rushing yards, 53, 92. Total yards, 65 for 201 for the Cardinals, and possession 1134 to 1826. So it's been a one-sided game, but I think the Cowboys can get right back into this contest, Jim. All they have to do, they're a play and a half out of this game. They have to get better field position and take advantage of it when they do get it. And especially teams in the defense really have to come to the front.
They need a spark somewhere, but they only trail by 10, and they could easily be right back in this thing with a big play. But they've only run 4 plays in Phoenix territory. Their deepest penetration of the first half to the Phoenix 40-yard line, and then you'll recall they were sacked twice in a row. The Cowboys and Emmitt Smith coming back on the field. Dallas looking to climb to 500. Been a long time since they were at that juncture, but they could do it with a victory here today. They haven't been 500 since way back on September 25th, 1988.
Well, they still have a lot of time to go here, and they can make something happen. But again, the big difference in this contest, the last 4 times they had the ball, talking about Dallas, they started the drive on the -1, -6, -2, and -13. You can't generate any kind of an offense with that kind of field position.
Aikman just 3 out of 10 for 25 yards, but in his defense, he had some drops in the first half, and he also felt some heat. This was one thing that Jimmy Johnson was very concerned about. what the Cardinals would do with the 2 weeks off. Dallas played last week and beat Tampa. The Cardinals drew a bye. He was concerned about whether his young football team could react to anything that perhaps they hadn't seen before that the Cardinals might have put in during that layover.
I don't think they have. It isn't a question of having seen it. All they've done is play a 3-man line on occasions and a 4-man line. You know, there's still 11 out there playing. I don't know why that would have been any kind of a problem, and I don't think it really was. I think basically, as I mentioned, and I hate to repeat and be redundant, but basically the problem has been the field position.
Joe Bugle says it bothers me when people say I'm too enthusiastic for this job. He doesn't feel you can possibly be too enthusiastic, especially with the rebuilding job that he faces here with the Phoenix Cardinals. Very positive, upbeat guy. Ken Willis, the rookie place kicker, to kick it away. Back deep are Vi Sikahema and Terrence Flagler, a former Cowboy. And the second half is underway. It's a short kickoff that'll be taken at the 7-yard line by Flagler. Crosses the 20 and is dropped short of the 22-yard line. First down, very important. Here's what they've been doing, Hank.
Well, on first down, you know, they've had 5 rushes and 4 passes. The Cardinals have been 10 and 4, so there's a big difference in their approach from a balance standpoint between the two teams. But of course, again, a lot of it is dependent on, you know, where you're going to start to drive.
And one big difference is that the Cardinals have had a lot more first downs than the Cowboys had through the first half.
Right.
Plus a lot better field position. Johnny Johnson is in the lineup along with Ernie Jones at wide receiver. Roy Green is the other wide out. Our first play from scrimmage in the second half, with Phoenix leading Dallas 10-0. Rosenbaugh dumps it underneath for Johnson, and he fights his way, although the ball looks like it's come loose to the 27-yard line. Cowboy football. So maybe there's the break that the Cowboys sought. Johnny Johnson had fumbled the ball away at the Dallas 1-yard line in the second quarter. Now he fumbles on the first play from scrimmage here. Daniel Stubbs in on the tackle and the recovery.
Looked like he got caught in a revolving door. Watch, he comes right up the middle, stops and turns to the outside, and in the process trying to escape, the ball pops loose. He's got it in his left hand, and it pops loose. Stubbs gets a shot on him, and Dallas has possession. 1st and 10, and it's exactly the break we were talking about a little while ago. Now the important thing is the break is fine, but you got to take advantage of this opportunity.
With the ball at the Phoenix 26-yard line. The handoff goes to Smith, and he's dropped for no gain, perhaps a loss on the play. Lonnie Young, the free safety out of Michigan State, combines with Garth Jacks on the tackle.
You know, one thing about the defense of the Cardinals, they react and respond so quickly to what they see, and as a result, it looks like you ought to be able to get a pass behind the safeties, and especially McDonald, number 46, who reacts very quickly to what he sees.
It'll be 2nd and 10 with the ball at the 26-yard line. No gain on the play. Aikman underneath, and there's another drop. Intended for Alonzo Highsmith coming out of the backfield.
That was supposed to be a play-action pass, and it wasn't a very well-executed play. The mesh between the back and the quarterback was not good. No, not good. Not a real good fake at all.
Unofficially 4 drops now by Cowboy receivers, so Aikman's not getting a whole lot of help out there. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10. So after the turnover, Dallas able to do nothing on the first 2 downs from the 26-yard line of Phoenix. Caught by McKinnon inside the 20, but I think he's short of the first down. They ran a little pick play on the left side, and McKinnon with the crossing pattern brings it in at the 19-yard line.
And there again, a four-man rush, controlled somewhat. 7 people back. They're using a great variety of things defensively between the 3-man line and also the 4-man line.
37-yard field goal attempt forthcoming by Ken Willis, one of 3 rookie place kickers in this league. Another one, Christie in Tampa Bay, had quite a day. This to get the Cowboys on the board. And it's good. So Dallas able to get that turnover and put 3 points on the board. They trail 10-3. Johnny Johnson's fumble at the Phoenix 26-yard line turned into a 37-yard field goal by Ken Willis. And the Dallas Cowboys get on the board here early in quarter number 3 and trail 10-3. The Phoenix Cardinals with 13:07 to play. Willis will kick it off. Back deep are Sikahema and Terrence Flagler. Willis, a free agent out of Kentucky, will beat out Luis Zendejas to become the Cowboy kicker. Really approaches the ball at a steep angle. Sikahema. Ball came free but appeared to go out of bounds before anybody was able to get possession of it, and it'll continue to be the Cardinals.
Good accuracy on that kick. He tried to kick the ball to the right corner, and that's exactly what he did. He got it up in the air good. The flaps got up fast, and as a result, why the receiver only has one way to run, and they have good angles on him from the outside.
Don't forget, next Sunday, the NFL Today gets it underway. That's your last word before kickoff, and then many of you will see a big NFC battle between Buddy Ryan's Eagles and the Redskins at RFK Stadium. Others of you, Dallas at Tampa, New Orleans at Houston, and then followed at 4 o'clock by our doubleheader game. Some of you seeing Atlanta and LA, or Phoenix against the New York Giants. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. Bill Bates is usually somewhere around a loose ball on special teams, number 40.
Yeah, in that kind of a situation, the last guy who touches the ball is going to have possession of it. And obviously, it was the Cardinals.
Johnny Johnson with a short gain on first down as he gets the call from Tim Rosenbaugh. And the Cardinals, Jack Del Rio and Jim Jeffcoat on the stop. 4-yard pickup for Johnson, and it'll be 2nd and 6 from the 20. Cardinals looking to run their record to 2-3 with a victory. The Cowboys could reach 500. Stoppage in play down below. Our referee once more, Red Cashin. Beautiful day, and as the sun will fall behind us here, the bench across the way will remain in the sun. One of the home field advantages for the Cardinals is the Cowboys will be looking into the sun all afternoon. 2nd and 6 from the 20. Johnson. Little gain. Jim Jeffcoat, who played his collegiate football right here at Arizona State, a former #1 draft choice, brings him down.
We talked to him yesterday, and he was very excited about coming back here to play at his old college campus and university. Takes a lot of pride in that, going back to school to finish his education, get his diploma, and he's very excited about that too.
Also very excited about the possibility of augmenting his family. His wife Tammy back in Dallas, pregnant for twins, and she's due December 20th. That'll be a nice Christmas gift. 3rd and 4 here for the Cardinals from their 22. Rosenbaugh will take off with it. Now he'll dump it upfield, and it's caught by his tight end, Walter Reeves. Just his 3rd reception of this season. The 2nd-year man out of Auburn, who's primarily a blocker. Rosenbaugh on the scramble, able to find him free there.
And Reeves weighs 262 pounds. You talk about a loose tackle playing tight end. That's the position he plays, but again, he's a very, very outstanding blocker and made a nice catch there.
Cardinals have a very big offensive line. Dallas's defensive line undersized. So a first down pickup on the little dump off to the tight end will bring up 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. 10:52 to play 3rd quarter. Phoenix leads at 10-3. at the 46-yard line and into the Cowboy bench. Little Ricky Proehl will be attended to across the way. Look at the shot he gets here, Hank. Perhaps we can catch it on the replay.
He's in a slot here. Now watch him come down the field. Linebacker tries to get depth. He breaks into the middle area. The linebacker overruns the play. He makes a good move there. Now he's going down the sideline, changes the ball again to the outside arm, and watch the late hit. No, he didn't. He tried to prevent hitting him. Horton did. But I think he slid on the sideline on the surface on that mattress they have in front of the bench.
It's a very difficult field, really. When you look at the amount of room that there is on the sideline, there's not very much. And give Ray Horton credit. He wasn't trying to deliver a cheap shot. He was trying to prevent Proehl from crashing into the Dallas bench. So Ricky Proehl, 4 catches for 61 yards. That last one covered 25. You know, that's one area that the Cardinals are going to have to address, is the age that they've got at wide receiver, and this young kid could really help them in the future.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. Talking to them the other day, they were ecstatic about his ability and skill, and they think he's going to jump right in there and be a star.
Led them in receptions coming in, the 3rd-round draft choice out of Wake Forest. 1st and 10 from the Dallas 46. Anthony Thompson down close to the 42-yard line. It was Thompson who has scored the only touchdown of this game back in the 1st quarter on a 1-yard run. He later was stopped on 4th and goal from the 1 later in that 1st quarter with 1:12 remaining.
He's the kind of a back that you want the lineman defensively to be coming over in pursuit, and if they don't stay in their lanes and get good positions, why the back can pop right between those big linemen and go in there for big yardage.
Thompson was only averaging 1.3 yards per carry coming in. That's just about what he's doing today. 6 carries, 7 yards.
They got an advantage on the left side if they run.
2nd and 6 from the 42. That's where they're going, and that's Thompson up close to 1st down yardage as a flag is thrown into the middle of the pile.
They had a wingback on that left side that time, and they had the defensive linebacker outflanked, holding.
Will go against the Cardinals. Jack Del Rio was on the tackle. These Cardinals have a new coach. They've got new ticket prices scaled down from earlier. New red pants for the first time. They've got a new training camp that we visited yesterday. Gorgeous spot. And a new marketing strategy as Billy Bidwell tries to get back in the good graces of these fans.
Well, I think he will, and Joe Ryan, who's here.
Number 89 on the offense. 10 yards, still 2nd down.
Also from the league office and joined the Cardinals a year ago. He's going to do a very good job in that department.
Walter Reeves, the tight end out of Auburn, caught holding. And that'll bring up 2nd and 16.
Big as he is, you wouldn't think he'd have to hold.
Al Del Greco looks on. He's contributed a 28-yard field goal. The Cardinal attack as they lead at 10-3. Rosenbaugh incomplete. Little razzle-dazzle, but Daniel Stubbs was in on him to knock it away. It was intended for Tim Jordan. And so Rosenbaugh comes over to take a look. 14 out of 17 for 125 yards. Started off very hot. Limited primarily to short passes, but it's enabled the Cardinals to exercise some ball control here today.
Yeah, all they're interested in is trying to move the chains.
7 defensive backs in the game for Dallas.
They might. Oh, here they go.
3rd and 16. Tipped by one Cardinal into the hands of the other. Complete. Roy Green tips it, and Ricky Proehl, I think it was, caught it. Let's take a look, Hank.
I think that's what happened. He rolls to his left. Green throwing it here. Here it is. It's tipped, and Proehl right behind him makes the catch, and he's got both feet in bound. You know they rehearse that in practice an awful lot.
That's right. Sounds like a play out of your old playbook at Kansas City.
Well, that's a recess football play, that is.
But short of the first down, and so Rich Camarillo will have to punt it away. Rod Harris back deep. He stands at his 10. It's the second punt of the day for Camarillo, who's gone to the Pro Bowl with both the Cardinals and also the Patriots.
And he's got a good average, 43.6. Strong.
You see his earlier effort right on that mark of 43 yards. The officials are holding up play momentarily down below as they spot the football. You might also be looking at this to make sure that Pearl did come down with both feet in bounds.
I'm sure that's what they're doing. They're looking at it on the instant replay to find out whether or not the call was the right call. We'll hear in just a minute, but again, it's got to be conclusive.
Here's what they're seeing upstairs.
Yeah, follow the bouncing ball, and there it is. Now the question is, you know, from this angle it's hard to tell, but it looks like he's got both feet in bounds, and it does look like there's a question about it, but let's see.
You know, the rule in the NFL used to be that two players on the same team couldn't touch the ball consecutively. That was changed a few years back. The Cardinals trying to benefit from that. In any case, it's short of the first down, and the Cardinals will have to surrender the football. Tim Rosenbaugh, he spells it T-I-M-M. The extra M because his brother Todd's name is spelled T-O-D-D, and his family wanted to retain the symmetry.
Plus he likes M&Ms.
Is that right? I'll buy that. Red Cashin trying to sort things out here for us eventually.
Well, we'll see what transpires here, boys.
Maybe we will eventually. Still looking at it upstairs, they're supposed to have a 2-minute time limit. It's really academic. All it means is the placement of the ball. It just means a longer punt for Camarillo than this one, in which he'll probably be trying to down it inside the 10 if he can. You see the Giants score. The Raiders going up on top of Seattle now. Oh, look at Pittsburgh. They've come back, Hank.
It's amazing the way that Denver team gets ahead of people and then goes to the reverse march late in the third and fourth quarters.
The receiver, before touching the ball, went out of bounds, came back in. That makes it an incomplete pass. The ball will be placed back at the 48, fourth down.
Oh.
All right. Prohl was out of bounds, came back inbounds to make the catch. Now, if a Dallas player had touched that ball after Green, Prohl could have come back in bounds and made the catch.
Yeah, but it didn't happen, and so they mark it properly. But that's the right rule. I never gave that a consideration. I didn't realize that he did that. Didn't see it.
Camarillo punts it away to Rod Harris. Lazy spiral that Harris will bring in at his 12. To the 19. And that's where the Cowboys will have it after a 41-yard punt and an 8-yard return by Harris. Phoenix leads it 10-3. All the officials here and around the NFL today are wearing a black armband with number 60 on it. That was the number of longtime NFL referee Dick Jorgensen, whose untimely passing occurred within the last couple of days. A 23-year official in the NFL who led the Super Bowl crew last year in New Orleans. You knew him well, Hank.
Yes, he was an outstanding official, a great person. Never had any problems. You could always talk to him without any problems at all.
Aikman's got some problems, and he's sacked back at the 10 for the third sack of the day for the Cardinals. They came in with only 6.
Here we see the shot, a blitz right up the middle here. There you see him going beyond, and then here's the tackle by Waller, number 66. Well, they got penetration quickly there right up the middle. Didn't have much of a chance at all to escape and make any kind of a play.
That'll be 2nd and 19. Waller, one of the guys chasing Aikman, a former teammate of his at UCLA. 2nd and 18 from the 12-yard line for Dallas. is down. Play will be blown dead. Ken Harvey in on